Hey guys, it's Stephanie here with Impulsive Auditions. We're watching Dillon doesn't trust Joe Rogan's advice. Here's my advice to you guys. You can take what people say to you as advice. Everything that anybody says to you is advice from their own life experiences to help you with your own life experiences down the line. That's all Joe Rogan is doing. He's not giving advice to change your opinion. He doesn't want you to follow his way of thinking. He is completely honest with everybody. He just says what he says because that's what he feels in the moment. That's what he believes in that time in his life. He's not going to apologize for anything except for apparently Spotify. But let's get into this.
Joe Rogan says you're a national treasure.
He also said the vaccine for coronavirus was freshly fallen snow. So I love him to death, but you know he says a lot.
Yo, he really does. He also said Connecticut. He also said Connecticut is simply a highway between New York and Boston.
Every other day he talks to me. He's like, vitamin D cures COVID. I'm like, I don't know, but all right. So I'm just taking vitamin D, no mask, thinking I'm good. So I'm gonna drop dead on his advice. I love him to death, but
there's something about conviction. Even
yes.
if you know that someone is so
He's
wrong,
just talking about his own.
you can respect their.
And there is times that Joe Rogan, he'll just say things for satire to lighten the mood, a joke in between here and there, and it's what these guys also do every once in a while. That's why when you hear Dillon, he's talking about in the previous episode he talked about, what was it, that doctor being like that, saying no, there's going to be a pandemic one day, and then he's all of a sudden he's slinging dick. It's not actually what he's doing. That's where they say he's slinging dick. He's not actually doing that. The doctor's not actually doing that. He's probably is, even though he's going to a podcast, he's still working with the people in the lab to make the vaccine, and by sprinkling in these one-liners here and there, it's making more entertainment. So that's where when Joe Rogan says stupid things in between, it's just to lighten the mood. It's just to bring some extra laughs into the conversation.
Their beliefs in what they're saying.
Sometimes he'll have like a doctor on his show, and then the beginning of the thing, she goes, "No, I'm not a doctor," and then she'll just go, like she'll just still go. She goes, "Now listen, I'm not a doctor, but here's 3 hours of my advice," and you go, "Okay, this seems reasonable."
But he's always been about that don't listen to anything I say type mentality.
He's a comedian. He's a really smart, brilliant guy, but he has so much pressure on him because so many people listen and take everything he says word for word. And I think he's very smart, and he's very smart people on the show. But it's a tremendous amount of pressure to just have people like every day going like, "Oh, are you right about that?" Because he's talking. He's just talking for 3 hours.
Right.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
I won't talk to my friends for 3 hours. I hate people.
Right.
It's not true.
I hate people.
What I usually do is listen to my friends for 3 hours. So it's not, I don't do as much talking with my friends. I just like to hang out, listen what's going on in their lives. But it doesn't always go that way. And then sometimes they want to talk to you, and you're like, okay, I'm introverted. I don't want to talk to people. But I'm doing this.
We
I
always
love people, but also like fuck off.
The fans yell at us all the time because around the 1 hour and 5 minute mark, he always says how long we've been rolling, and he turns to the team, one at 110, 120, and I always say to him, like, listen, I could do this right now, paycheck free for the next 6 hours, and it would be the best time of my fucking life.
Right.
Some people just love.
Well, you're like me.
It.
Here's what Mike does. Mike will ask someone a question and then answer it for them. Because Mike is me in the sense that we're really only ever having a conversation with ourselves. We're never really, like, no one else is ever in the room. And it's just us saying what we want to do. And it's just like, thanks for being here. But no matter what you say, it's immaterial.
Matter. It
Because
doesn't
I've
matter.
got a
agenda,
a list of points I want to just work through in my own head. And you can eat a Pokeball while I do that, but who cares? That's really what it is.
I don't know how he does it.
Yeah.
I don't know how he does it.
Rogan, you're talking about.
Yeah,
it's hard.
And for so long.
It's tough. He's really good at, he listens.
Listeners.
He really listens, and he's interested. He cares about stuff. He's curious.
So that's the thing. I think that's his shtick that allows him to be able to do it. Like he really cares, and he's curious.
Yeah.
But I was still wondering how someone can retain that much information in their head. Like, how much does he know? How much is he listening and
incredibly
holding?
Intelligent guy. He's incredibly intelligent, and it's amazing when you talk to him how much he does retain from all of those different hours of experts, because he'll be able to cite things and talk about things where you're like, I would have forgot that.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
That makes...
He holds on to it. And then when he does these 3-hour interviews, he's talking to somebody about like a book that he's reading, or...
Wild.
Yeah.
They're good interviews.
Wild.
Yeah.
You
He's
know?
like a sponge. But also I always tell him to,
Yeah.
as you get older and you learn more and you pick up from here and there, you almost naturally become more conversational on a general set of topics. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of an age, and with it, what is it? With age comes wisdom, right?
Yeah.
But this dude is so well studied. We saw him in Hawaii, on vacation at the Four Seasons Resort, and he's always just laying there with the earbuds in, probably listening to an audiobook or a podcast
He's a
from someone
fighter.
else.
He has that, he has that in his head where he likes he likes to be really good at what he does.
Yeah.
So he doesn't like to be half-assed at anything. So if he's doing stand-up, he's really good at it. If he's doing a podcast, he wants to be really, he wants to be the best at it.
What about set design?
UFC?
That one's tough. That one is that's a rough one. That is a.
Okay, so I don't like his new set. It's probably because I got used to the old set. Because I usually look at podcasts and their sets as different locations that people can't interrupt you. So Logan's set right now, it doesn't look like SpongeBob's butthole anymore, but what it does look like is like they're in a cabin. Because they're in a cabin, it immediately makes me think of Cabin in the Woods. And you got Joe Rogan's first set, which he says was in a basement. I believe it's in a basement. You've got Rogan that it looks like a loft because you can see outside through the windows. I mean, this video is almost even over. And then H3, it actually looks like it's in a dungeon. It's so poorly lit that it looks like it's filmed in a dungeon. Like, they bring people from the streets into a dungeon and then talk to them. So, I don't know. It's
a rough one. You're not recording, right? No.
People have said he looks like he's on the inside of a microwave. I've seen so many different...
People call it the red pill because it's this kind of pill-shaped red. That it is very interesting he went in that direction.
So that is it, guys. Tim Dillon doesn't trust Joe Rogan's advice. Now that's misleading because he actually agreed that he's going to die because of Joe Rogan's advice, following it to a T. If you know that it's wrong, then don't do it. That'll be it, guys. Don't forget to like if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it, and hit that subscribe button. See you guys next time.